All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moms in Real Estate. I am Kristen Cantrell, and I am missing my co-host today because she is on the beach in Cabo with her husband. But I do have two amazing women, Tasha and Jamie from North Dakota, with me today. So
hello.
I want you guys to tell the world all about you guys. Tasha, you go ahead and give us a little bit of background, and then Jamie, you go ahead.
Oh gosh, I'm on the spot first. I've been in real estate for just about 8 years. It's been a whirlwind. I love what I do. I have 3 girls. I'm a busy working realtor mom, and I can say that I'm proud because last year we're not on a team, even though we are. Right. We should be, but we're not. But I can tell you, production-wise, I sold 46 homes last year, so I'm patting myself on the back over that one. Just me alone. Yes.
Gosh, it's amazing. That's so awesome.
Yeah. No team, all by myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's probably because you have amazing women like Jamie around you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we get to work together in a sense that if someone's out of town or if we're just super overwhelmed and something needs to be done really quickly, we know that, we can rely on each other. And also there's a handful of agents in our office that are really great and help us out too. So we've got a really cool atmosphere here, and we lean on each other when it gets really busy or when we're in a tough spot.
That is so important. Well, Jamie, tell us about you.
I've been selling for just about this year is my 10-year anniversary, about the same, right around that 40 homes per year kind of mark. Again, independent, not necessarily on any sort of team or anything. I came out of a marketing background from a large construction firm that was local to Fargo. And so the marketing side really excited me about listing homes and that kind of thing. But then it gives me the opportunity to work with more people. And I had some background in real estate before working for the marketing firm as well. Or the construction firm. So this kind of gave me 2 halves of my whole, getting to work more with people, getting to do marketing for listings, and then just getting to work on a completely different schedule that works well with my family. I've got 2 kids and a husband. We live south of the metro area by about 20 minutes and loving it.
I think that's great. And I think so many people need to hear kind of how you guys lean on each other. Because I have a lot of experienced agents that have their own business that come to me and they're like, I want to join a team. And I'm always like, well, why do you want to join a team? Tell me why. And it's literally to have exactly what you guys have. They want their individual business, but they just want that accountability partner, that person to help them when they go out of town, or that person to push them, And so I think that that's so cool. And it's out there. You just need to go and find that person. So how did you 2 meet?
Well, we started in the same brokerage firm, and we were not friends immediately. We were friends. We hated it. That's true at all. We just didn't know one another. And
there's about 75 people in our office, so we were certainly acquaintances, got along just fine.
We just didn't know one another.
Yes.
And then I sort of had a harebrained idea. I wanted to do a podcast because, like I said, I live about 20 minutes out of town, and I love audiobooks, and I like, AM radio. I like podcasts, all that stuff. And I thought, ooh, I should do a podcast kind of thing and read off all the new listings every day. Yeah, that sounds super exciting, doesn't it? I kind of convinced Tasha to help me out because I knew that biting off of that kind of thing would be too much for one person to do every single day, all the time. And as we started talking about it, she was like, well, that's great, but, it's kind of boring.
Jamie.
Let's do real estate.
And we were really at the office really late one night. And we were just chatting about, oh gosh, all our kids are at home, our husbands are at home. We are missing that time with our families, and just really bonded over that.
We have a lot in common.
We're very different, but have a lot in common. My youngest daughter is the same age as her oldest. So with that, we were really just bonding over that mom mom journey of being a real estate, in real estate. And from there, that idea was not great.
Well, right. So we're in a meeting where we're paying very close attention in this meeting, I swear.
Very close.
And I, after this evening that we'd been commiserating about, we love our jobs and we love our families too. And, we kind of started texting and I was like, why don't we make it a podcast, but also bring in some mom stuff? So we're not always having to be just talking about business, and we can, talk about being moms and talk about selling real estate and give tips and kind of be that motherly figure to our clients, but also at the same time, keeping it kind of true to who we are and what we're about, and make it a little fun and exciting and informative.
It is fun. You guys are easy to listen to. And I was telling you guys before we went live, like I was listening to your routine one, which anyone, you don't have to be in real estate to listen to that. And I love how you're like, if you have it down, I'm like, I've never met one person who has it down. Even when people are preaching about time blocking, we all try to time block. We all try.
We do.
We try.
Perfect. Do you, Tasha?
Well, not today.
She was late this morning.
Well, today is not the week for me. My oldest daughter is graduating from high school this weekend, and I have her graduation party tomorrow. It is just mayhem in my world this week.
Yeah.
Just chaotic. I'm failing at everything this week, and I will fully admit that. No, not the week.
Sometimes we have off weeks. That is true.
Exactly.
So tell us, you guys started this podcast. It's called the Realtors Moms Podcast. If you guys want to look it up, and it is so much fun. So tell us, what is your goal with that outside of bringing in some fun to real estate and educating your clients? Has that evolved into anything that you're like, this is what it is for us? What's kind of the main focus with it?
Well, I think it was to help buyers and sellers. Really, it started out we're going to have this great library of audio information for clients, and our phones are going to be ringing off the hook. And, that is always a goal. But I think it was to let our clients know that even if they've sold 12 homes or 40 homes or one home, not everybody's always super comfortable asking a question, or they feel like it's a dumb question, or they're not really sure how to ask or what information they're missing out on. And so having this sort of resource for them to go to both helped us communicate to them, no question is a dumb question. And we talk about, we're happy to talk about it all. And also, if you're not sure even where to start, here you go. Start here, look at our 60 episodes, pick something that kind of draws you in. Also get to know us and how we do our jobs and how we work. And
do you guys have an episode where it's what to expect when you're listing your home? And then you're okay, you do a listing appointment, and then you're okay, if you need to refer back to anything, listen to episode 52
all the time.
You guys, that's so genius. I've told people they should be doing this, but it's because you can't communicate enough. The number one thing people complain about is my realtor sucks at communication. Well, you have to do it in so many different formats before it hits with somebody. Some people text, some people email, some people all the things. So I think it's so genius for you to be able to refer back and for people to be able to listen. I love it.
We have one called What to Expect When You're Inspecting. How to get ready for a home inspection.
Right?
I mean, it's great.
You guys could be famous, I'm telling you.
Well,
that's our most clever title. We're working on some of the others.
Well, we do have one. I will laugh about this probably to the day I'm on my deathbed. But Jamie came into the office. We were supposed to be doing an episode that day. And I swear you could probably see steam coming out of my ears. I was so mad at my 18-year-old for doing something she shouldn't have been doing. And we came up with one that was called Mom Fail Friday, where we were just talking about all the how are all the ways we're failing. And we didn't even really talk about real estate. We just talked about the pains of just frankly, sometimes being a mom and how do we survive. And, there is no shame in just surviving, frankly.
Right.
Yeah. We talk about that all the time where we'll show up. Angela always talks about where she's let me make you feel really good about yourself today, because I got to tell you what a crappy mom I am. And I'm we just kind of, it feels so good to talk about all of our mess ups, it just, I don't know, because nobody's perfect. We've had one lady on Moms in Real Estate who was perfect. She said she was, but she said her and her kid had no problems. I'm like, I don't even know where to go with that because I have them like all day.
Yes.
All day. So tell us a little bit about as far as your guys' I know like Tasha, you just said we should be on a team. Like, would you guys ever start a team, or are you guys like, we love our solo business and this is how it's going?
I think the way that our office is set up is that we're encouraged to be individuals, but to rely on each other when we need it. And so I think just that way that it kind of is here at Park Company, we both get to be ourselves and run our business ourselves. But we're also very much encouraged. We have accountability partnership. We have some training that we do company-wide and, elective and suggested and all that kind of thing. And so we kind of both feel like we are on a team in some ways, but also have that control to run a business by ourselves. I guess I
wouldn't ever say no. It's just not something that's really come up to this point. So
we've both been doing more and more and more business and have figured out more and more systems and have continued to be more successful year after year in both her entire 8 years and my entire 10 years.
Each year has been better than the last.
So it's kind of like this niche it's really good. And not saying that, something couldn't change in the future, but it's nice. And certainly we don't have it all figured out, but we get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Who does? I swear. So what does it look like? we kind of touched on this a little bit before we went live, but what does that look like for you guys? If you have somebody that says, hey, I really want to get into real estate and I want to work with you guys, do you guys mentor, or do you guys have somebody in your office that mentors? Yeah. Well, that's great.
Yes,
we mentor. Yeah.
Yes, I have a mentee right now.
Yeah.
So I'm working with her and teaching her the ropes. I mean, how I've set it up with her is any work appointment that I have, as long as my clients don't object, she's automatically included on every appointment that I take. So that's really, I want her to be in it and see what this really looks like. And it's very important to me to be mentoring someone and making sure that she can see this, from the start to the finish, what does this process really look like? And it can be so different from client to client.
Well, which is so
very important to me.
I mean, I would say like one of the top things people want from a mentor is like, take me out with you, because we can talk about or go to classes or whatever all day long, but like it is like, it's so different client to client. So for you to be able to bring them is so great. So, and now, especially because you've been mentoring a new agent, what would you say to a new agent? Like, I wish I would have done this from the start. Like, what's your advice to somebody who's so green, who's like, give me all the golden nuggets as a new agent?
I like to tell them, from the outside, we sell houses, right? Like sell them for our sellers, sell them to our buyers.
So much more than that.
But it really, I think your primary job as a realtor is networking and selling yourself potentially, right, to the buyers and sellers who may want to work with you. I mean, you don't have anything to sell or anybody to work with until you've established that number one goal. So I think it's easy to say, oh, I love houses. And that's a huge and important factor.
Yes.
And, I love going through houses. I love looking at houses. Well, that's great. But you really have to have clients or you're not going to have a job in real estate.
And you have to be relatable. I mean, if you are meeting with a new client, if you're not relatable to them, if there's no way that you can make a connection or have common ground, why would anyone ever trust you? I mean, it's these people are, I always say, I mean, people are making the biggest purchase, making the biggest sale of their life. They want to know that the person that they're hiring, that they can trust them and that they have faith in them, that they can do the job. And so it's very important to really just try and connect with people and make it, just be down to earth. Don't be sitting up on this high pedestal. We're all humans.
I think our podcast brings us to earth too,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Makes you guys relatable. Absolutely. Well, and it's so true. So then is most of both of your business, so you guys have been in the business 8-10 years and you guys are doing 40 plus homes a year. Does most of your business come from your power base? Like
Most
your
of
center
my
of
business comes
influence?
from my
Totally.
sphere of influence, prior clients, prior client referrals.
Yep.
That's the majority of my business.
Right. Same.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, people who know, like, and trust us, referring us to people that they know, like, and trust because they know that they're going to be in good hands.
I make
And-
it a point to consistently do coffee dates,
Yeah.
lunch dates. I enjoy it. My husband always makes fun. He's like, "Oh, you're going to work," but I love my job.
That's
But
good.
I love connecting with people, and
Yeah.
I love I love spending time with people. So it's something that I really do enjoy. But it is something that I do on a very regular basis. She's always like, "Oh, can you meet at this day and time?" I'm like, "No, I have a coffee."
Yeah. I
So-
actually literally plug. So if we talk about time blocking, I plug coffee appointments in yellow and then I have to go and fill them.
Yay!
I also do
cool.
wine appointments because I love my wine too. So,
Yes.
you figure out what you like to do and it's so true. And it's like, you have to be intentional and but you're having fun doing it. I always talk about how I tell my oldest son when he is like, what do you do? I was like, my job's to go and make friends and bring valued people all day. And I'm like, it's so fun.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It sounds so easy when you say it like that, but how long did it take you guys to get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm not chasing people as much as I am working not working my friends, but you know what I mean? Where
Right.
you have your center of influence.
Well, I think it took me a lot longer than it took her, and that is a testament to how we mesh really well together, but we are very, very different. And like I said, I tell people that, yes, I sell houses, but really my job is meeting and finding clients. And that was one of my biggest faults in the beginning. Is I remember one of my first days as a full-time real estate agent going to a local restaurant and getting a table outside because it was the most beautiful day and just sitting there looking at my phone oh, this is going to ring anytime.
You're all this
story.
It didn't.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that the hard way and learn that I needed to be in front of people and be around people and be supportive of people. I mean, I love supporting community activities and local businesses and all of that and supporting them, and then seeing in return they support me just makes my heart so full. So I started a little slower, but I figured it out. And Tasha, she just kind of jumped in and took off.
Well,
So-
yeah, I mean, okay, to some
Compared
extent,
to me,
yes. But I really took, I think I took the road that many realtors do. You start off, you work. I didn't really understand a majority of my business came from open houses, and I would see a slight increase. I would say the first 2-3 years, I saw a slight increase from year to year to year. And I realized at that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm not getting where I want to be. Why? And I really sat back and I'm like, this isn't, yes, I'm doing okay. Yes, I'm doing well, but I can do better. And I really had to stop and ask myself why. And at that moment, it just kind of a light bulb went off, and I shouldn't say it was immediate. It took some time to really figure out. But at that moment, I said, I have to be out there. I have to be more public. I have to be in front of people. I have to be meeting with people. I have to let people see who I really am. And I joined a networking group. I then started setting up coffee connections and dates and lunches and doing things in the public and joining groups and doing things community wide. And from that moment, I was just really trying to let people into my life and make friends and really try to be a social butterfly when I don't really think I am. I'm more of that extroverted introvert.
You are.
Well, I'm more of an extrovert. I enjoy being at home with that glass of wine with no one else around.
Yeah, totally.
But I just realized at that moment I had to just be a little bit more out there in a different way. And I would say that happened around year 3, year 4, around that time frame in my business.
Mm-hmm.
So
I sort of started taking off after about year 3 also. Kind of found my groove. So
yes.
check
And
it
see,
out.
that's encouraging because sometimes there's a lot of people where I work with them and they'll be like super discouraged because 6 months to a year, like they're like, I'm not where I want to be. Well, it takes years to build a business, and substitute real estate for anything. But it's really good to hear other people talk about how long it took them so that they're like, okay, like, but they need to be doing things like this, the coffee dates and the community. And my favorite thing, like you're saying, like, there's nothing more rewarding to me to help somebody else's business grow. And like, in turn, they help yours. Like, it's so fun.
Totally.
So much fun. So, well, I've had a blast talking to you guys. I wasn't surprised at all. Just so everyone knows, I found these two searching for real estate podcast, called them. And remember, they're in North Dakota. I'm in Arizona. And I convinced them to fly out to Arizona to come to our Flourish event and get up on stage.
Yes.
Get up in front of almost 100 women. And it was so much fun. So hopefully you guys are coming back. So much fun. Hopefully you guys are coming back. We're doing another Flourish event November 4th and 5th. And we do this strategically when it's really cold everywhere else. So everybody wants to come to Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. Who wouldn't, right?
No, well, we were honored to come. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. We realized like you guys are freezing and you guys are easy to convince when you're freezing to come to the heat. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was so much fun. If you guys want to listen to their podcast, make sure to go look them up. Is there a specific thing you guys want to tell anyone that wants to listen to your podcast where to go?
Go to realtormomspodcast.com, realtormomspodcast.com, or look us up on iTunes.
Awesome. Well, you guys have been great, and we will see everyone later.